All right. Welcome everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending when you are. This is César Tabanco from the Global Chamber headquarters, and this is our League of Opportunities, part two. And this is a meeting we've been doing, I think, since the pandemic, so it's probably 5 years old, where we highlight something around 4 to 6 members with the idea of learning more and 3 to 4 different areas. So it's more about the person. Tell us, a little bit more about you, about the industry you are involved with, the companies you would like to help, so the good connections for you, and finally, if there's any particular opportunity that you can share with our members. I would like to start with Hande Vasseb, and I see Inang Sivas here as part of her team. Hande is part of our Global Chamber London chapter, is part of the advisory board there. She's been involved with AI recently, and they, I think, as in the last part of their presentation, they're going to discuss on the upcoming event too. So without further ado, Hande and Inang, the floor is yours. If you can keep it within 7-8 minutes so we can have Q&As, that would be great.
Thank you. Thank you so much for the kind introduction, Cesar. Hi, everyone. My name is Hande Vasseb. Apart from being the advisory board member in Global Chamber London, I am the managing partner of WSI London and Turkey. And these two offices are a part of WSI, the world's largest digital consulting network with its 750 offices in 82 countries. I also sit on WSI's Global AI Leadership Committee, where we design the group's global AI transformation strategy. Our mission is mainly to help companies integrate AI, not as a passing trend, but as a strategic enabler for growth, for innovation, and sustainable performance. In our industry, in the AI landscape, we often see two extremes. On one side, we have the academia and all the technologists. They focus mainly on the computer science part of AI, meaning algorithms, models, and data. And on the other side, we see the AI consultants who promise that every business challenge can be solved by AI alone. We position ourselves in the middle, so neither exaggerating nor underestimating AI's role. And we treat AI as a strategic lever for growth, competitiveness, and innovation, while staying grounded in each industry's unique realities. Our focus is not on what AI can do, but on where AI makes sense in productivity, in innovation, and in decision-making. And the truth is, globally, about 85% of AI projects fail. And they fail to achieve their intended outcomes dramatically. And even when successful, only 1 in 3 projects delivers real business value. And among them, only 11% of them do fail because of the technological reasons. Another statistics that I would like to share about AI is, while employees are rapidly adopting, research shows that 76% of them hide their AI use from their managers. So this means the challenge today is definitely not about technology itself. The challenge today is about adoption. So the transformation we need is definitely not just technical, and it's about cultural, and it's about leadership driven. Let me ask you a quick question. What do you think is the percentage of the world's population who is actively using AI tools today? So you can just type it in the chat so that we can see the percentage of the AI users in population. Let me see the guesses. No guesses?
We've got 90% here in the chat.
Well, if you have an internet, you're probably using AI already, haven't you?
Sorry, say it again, was it?
If you have an internet connection, you're using AI.
Yeah, okay, that's an assumption. I'll tell you, I'll come to that. I saw 90%, okay. Okay, I'll surprise you. The actual figure is around 5%. So while AI dominates all the headlines, the real adoption has only just begun, and which makes actually this moment that we are having crucial for shaping its direction. That's why we value helping organizations and to strategically embed AI into their operations and into their leadership models with a methodology which includes developing AI readiness assessments, governance frameworks, customized AI roadmaps, while ensuring alignment with the emerging regulations, because again, we are at the beginning of this wave. And we work across industries from marketing to manufacturing, from HR to financial services, guiding companies to move beyond experimentation towards the measurable transformation. And simply put, our goal is not to help organizations use AI, but to help them lead with AI. And we are also proud members of the Global Chamber. For us, what makes Global Chamber special is its commitment to global collaboration, responsible innovation, and cross-sector dialogue, principles that really align with our philosophy at WSI. And when we began collaborating, it was clear that our missions complemented each other perfectly. And together with Global Chamber, we have co-designed the AI Pitching Series, a curated series of limited capacity sessions, bringing AI solution providers and industry leaders together by verticals. Let me show you my screen now so that you can see the upcoming sessions. Can you see my screen? Yes, right? Okay, amazing. So as you see here, in these sessions, we will have decision makers in all the industries, and also such as marketing, professional services, manufacturing, HR tech, and financial services. And we have also selected the right technologies, right solution providers of that vertical. I truly believe these sessions will play a crucial role in shaping the future of each industry, not by over-promising technology, but by presenting practical, high-impact applications that drive sustainable growth and innovation. And would love to see the decision makers of that vertical shared in the screen in our sessions. And please feel free to reach out to Katie. And thank you very much for having me here. And we'll be glad to answer the questions if you have any. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Hande. Any questions from the audience?
Yes.
Go ahead, Vasil, and then we go to Jem.
Yeah. Hande, I have a question. I guess
Sure.
when you say using AI, you mean the company who intentionally using it. Because, for example, let's say I'm on my phone and I'm looking for something. And I believe that AI is already, that's where I was coming from. I believe that AI is already built in some of those applications and what have you. I'm writing something, I get it corrected by AI as to this the way you write it. I guess I'm trying to see what is the difference between the 5% and what any one of us could think we're using AI, whereas maybe from another viewpoint we're not.
Thank you very much for the question, which will help me to clarify that percentage. Thank you for that. So as you said, first of all, under AI, we have approximately 258 technologies which have been developed since 1942. So as you said, there are some artificial intelligence features that is embedded in everything that we use, like the navigation systems, the recommendation engine in Netflix, or any other text-to-speech tool that we are using. By 5%, what I mean is the approximate number of the users that we have on the LLM tools like OpenAI, Anthropic, or other tools, and also the analytical AI, enterprise level AI users. So this is, as you said, actually, we can also put it as like intended AI use, either via subscribed tools or via designed solutions, but not AI features which are already embedded to traditional applications.
Got it.
Thank you very much.
I think that made me think about my mom, for instance. She's probably not as part of those 5%. But, you know, she searches the internet, and I guess the AI is using her to some point.
Definitely. I mean, anybody who is buying something from Amazon is using,
Exactly.
you know, or watching Netflix. So we are using that, or navigation again. Yes,
Exactly.
you're so right, César.
And today's her birthday, so that's why I keep thinking about
Oh,
her.
happy birthday to your lovely mom. Okay, please.
Jem,
Yes,
Jem, let's
Sandra.
go to you. Thank you, Jem.
A question. Especially the last 6 or 7 months, it's really gotten crowded with AI. There's probably 5 or 6 introductions a day. Should we be waiting? This business, AI, I've been using it for several years now. It's going to be commoditized probably next year. Do we wait till those final 5 or 6 AI masters, or do we is just too many to plow into? How do we handle what is going to be commoditized next year for sure? That's probably the top 5 or 6, 7, maybe.
Great question. Thank you. As you said, most of the technology companies, the startup companies that we see now will fade away in the near coming future, because either the 7 tech giants will create a technology which will replace their solution, or a new capability will appear. All the applications that we use currently, and most of the technologies that the startups are using, is falls down in the narrow AI, artificial narrow intelligence gene. And since 6 months, we are talking about agentic AI, which is more capable of not only suggesting something, but in doing that. And normally, before, like 1 year ago, we were suggesting companies to wait to build the solutions by themselves, unless they don't have a unique data or algorithmic capability, because of the same reasons that you stated. But with agentic AI, which has the capability of memorizing, understanding, and also doing it, the game plan has changed a bit. So that's why if you start with now to train your agent, no matter in which industry, no matter in which process, now your agent, which will learn the context and your business, will be much more experienced than your competitor's agent. I think it's now time to act and start to build your own agents. It was a bit early to use to build the generative AI solutions, but agentic AI has changed the ecosystem because of the limit of time. So I'm just respecting the others. But I'll be very happy to have a quick chat, Jim, if you have any further questions.
Thanks, Hande. But
Go
still,
ahead,
Siobhan,
Siobhan, go ahead. I already asked a question. Siobhan, you go ahead.
Yeah, Siobhan, let's just have 1 more minute, and then we move forward to the next.
I'm very interested, Hande, in the digital marketing side, and I hopefully will be able to attend your event. But I've just gone to Google because I use it a tremendous amount. It knows me, it knows my voice, it knows my style, it knows my writing style, it knows my story, it knows my history, it knows what I've done in the past several years, it knows all my little stories that I always share, where I personalize anything I send out. And that's so important that you're already filling in the blanks for AI, because otherwise it's not personal. It comes into your email box, or you've written something and it goes out, or you are writing a speech and it's just AI talking. It's not you talking. So I just went to, because I was about to say, if you type into Google search your name, right, it usually comes up with some sort of AI description of you. But this was interesting. I didn't find that today. But what I did find was an AI curated article. So they grabbed an article, AI grabbed an article that it was just written about me, and they sent it out through Newsworthy. So newsworthy.ai, they curated an article I just did about my Cancer Bites campaign. I've never seen that. And I think that that's exciting in itself, because I write a lot, and now AI is starting to pull my articles and get it out on other platforms. with sort of bigger reach. No wonder Cancer Bites is blowing up, because my husband does all the back end, the website, the Google, all that, and he's like, "Oh my gosh, you got to see this!" And it's going like, it's just going
Amazing,
skyrocketing. So that is so important, and I can't wait to see get more information.
That's great,
Early in the
Siobhan.
morning here.
Thank you, and I know you're gonna share a little bit towards the end of the event. Thanks. So thank you, Hande. I put the link of the event in the chat, so you can all get there and register. So
amazing. Thank you very much for having us. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Let's just move now to Jeff Lower. Jeff from AvaHi and working with the staff augmentation, and I guess AI is playing a role there too. So Jeff, welcome.
Yeah.
And the floor is all yours. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you. I actually going to talk a little bit. Actually, I'm going to talk about AI as well. I think there's obviously a lot out there, but more about me. I'm former AWS, so I worked for Amazon Web Services for 4.5 years, and started working for AvaHi 2.5 years ago, because the founder was also AWS. In fact, most of our leadership team is former AWS. I have relationships with that team, and that's why I trusted the team to come over here and join back again 2.5 years ago. I've seen our company grow from 7 employees to over 100 in that period of time, and considered the fastest growing partner of AWS, because that's who we are. We are an AWS cloud partner, and we again have been in business only since 2000. But have been considered, again, the fastest growing partner within AWS. AWS's ecosystem has over 200,000 partners today. And I'm going to share a screen just so that we're all kind of looking at something together. So let me, 1 second here. See how we share. Here we go. Desktop 2, there we go. That should be it. And share. Okay. So a little bit about who we are. Again, we are an AWS cloud partner, okay, which means that we help companies to migrate to AWS, right? So what we do is we help with cloud adoption, to help companies do cloud assessments, help them to understand why cloud, why it's important, and then take them through the steps to do that. We help to migrate data and applications and workloads over to AWS, and we help build on AWS as well. Okay, so we're a consulting company, first and foremost. Areas that we focus on heavily is in data analytics, helping companies to gain insight from their data, and teaching companies to better manage their data. Now, if you take a look at the screen, what I'm sharing here are what we call our AWS credentials. And this is why we've been such a fast-growing company within the AWS ecosystem, is because, number one, we moved to a premier tier partner, which is that we are the top 1% of all partners globally. So when you think of companies like Deloitte or Accenture or Wipro, right, we are on the same level, even though we're only 100 employees as a company, because we have met all the expectations for AWS. Now, we have a Gen AI strategic collaboration agreement, very important. We have a Gen AI services competency. We have our migration and modernization competencies. So when we say a competency, it means AWS sees us as a partner in great standing that has incredible knowledge within this area. Now, what's really important to know is that we have funding available to us. Okay, because of our status with AWS, they provide funding, which enables us to provide migration funding to help aid the cost of cloud migration. So a company wants to migrate their workloads and their data in their applications over to the cloud. We will teach them how to do it through an assessment, show them why it's important, but more importantly, AWS will kick in and help cover the cost of that migration. Not all of it, but they will help contribute towards it. Makes it nice. Now, something else, because of our Gen AI strategic collaboration agreement, we've opened doors for funding there as well. Those funding helps companies to explore AI. Now, I know Hande was talking about this, that we are trying to learn more about technology, trying to learn how AI can help their companies. But where do you start, right? How we help companies start is through a proof of concept, where we'll go in and help them explore AI. What are the benefits of AI? How it can impact their business using their data, their workloads, and it's paid for by AWS, which is amazing. They will pay up to $25,000 to us to help you explore, right? And once we've identified a use case, something that really helps to impact your business, now we'll be able to help you go into we call production. We actually build it and make it work, bring it live. AWS also helps pay for the production funding as well. They're trying to get companies to learn to enable and drive towards AI, the agentic AI, what Hande talked about as well. We're heavily involved in agentic AI. And agentic AI really is, building an agent for you, whether you're a salesperson, whether you're customer service, whether you're an accountant, right? Agentic AI builds agents that help you do your job. They're not replacing you. They help you perform your job. Okay. Let's show more information here. Now, this is kind of a nice solution stack showing all that we do. Now, we talk about migration and adoption, or sorry, cloud migration, right? The generative AI piece. And the part that I'm heavily involved in this is professional services on demand, which is a staff augmentation piece. And I've got exciting news there as well, but we'll talk about that in just a minute. I'll switch slides in a second. I want to talk also about AI voice agents. Now, this is something pretty interesting. It's something that we've just recently built. And again, it's built on AWS, but an AI voice agent is really an incredible tool built really for the SMB market. What the AI voice agent does is it's fine-tuned with your company information, and it really truly is an agent for your company to help answer questions, to book meetings, provide account information. So if somebody calls into your business, you actually can have a voice agent that sounds like an employee that can help handle that person's needs. Do they want to learn about their account balance? Do they want to schedule an appointment with a salesperson? Could it be a dentist office that wants to know about what your hours are? You're talking to a person, which is a voice agent, and that person can help you to learn about your account. What is your latest prescriptions? When are you available? Can we schedule that meeting with the doctor? They will do all that. And again, this voice agent is part of your team, right? They help you help companies become more acclimated and to be able to perform even after hours, which is incredible. If somebody calls in at 8 p.m. at night or 10 p.m. at night, you don't have somebody working in your office. Your voice agent is, and they're scheduling appointments and they're providing information after hours, which is also an incredible use case. Now, I'll stop there because I've talked about a lot. We've talked about voice agents. We've talked about funding potentials for proof of concepts, funding potential for actually for AI build, and for migration funding that AWS offers companies. So I'll stop there if there's any questions, and then I'll talk lastly about our staff augmentation services.
Thanks. I see Basil. Basil, go ahead.
Yeah, I have a couple of questions for you, Jeff. First one is, when you have that agent, how much does that cost to the company to have that agent?
Yeah, that's a great question, and that's kind of an open-ended question because it depends on what we want it to do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're trying to actually build it in a SaaS model, software as a service model, as opposed to having to build. So if we can create a tool which is very specific use cases, right? Like we have one use case which is for recruiting, which basically means that this voice agent will call a candidate. They'll have a set questions they can ask to basically do a screen of that candidate, provide an assessment of that screen to the hiring manager, and book an interview, right? So that's one very, very specific use case that we could build for recruiters to do the first level screen, schedule interviews, and provide summary notes of the conversation between the AI bot and the candidate, right? And that's something that's going to be pre-built that we can just basically call it a software as a service, and here you go. All you need to do is input the questions that you want the AI bot to ask, right? So again, that's a very specific use case. Scheduling ability to summarize conversations and provide feedback to a hiring manager. And if you scale that in companies that are doing 50 to 100 interviews a week, or the screens, and we could screen down 100 candidates down to the top 10 and have that scheduled, and nobody has to touch it but the agent. That is a huge win.
Definitely. My last question to you is a little off a little bit, but that came just to my mind. What does AWS get by the support they're providing to you, if you know the answer or not?
I'm sorry, good question again.
What does AWS get after supporting you, funding you, and what have you? What is that? Again, is enough question. What do they get out of that?
Yeah, they get ongoing revenue is what they get, because again, this will be built and there's a monthly recurring cost to things that are built and being run on the cloud, right? So rather than having your data center and having to buy servers and pay for internet bandwidth and pay for security, you know, all of that's managed by AWS. So there's a monthly cost to doing all that versus managing it yourself. So what they get, they'll pay initially, they'll bring the person into the cloud, into their technology world, and then they'll get a monthly recurring charge, which will go on for hopefully ever, right? So they'll pay to help that person learn and guide them to AWS, but then that person will hopefully grow with AWS as well and grow that monthly expense.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. All right, with no more questions, let me flip over to a different slide here. Okay, let's open that up. Now, this is an area that I'm responsible for. You know, I'm not a technologist. I'm not an engineer, to be clear, right? I'm standing up the staff augmentation service within AvaHi, the practice within AvaHi. So from the recruiting standpoint, staffing services. And I worked with Doug Brunke to actually create a reduced cost towards Global Chamber members, right? So we're giving a discount to this, which is fantastic. I was happy that we were able to do this. But really, we have three different types of services here. We have a standard contract, which basically is if you need somebody for a 3-month contract or a 6-month project, whether it could be an engineer, it could be AML architect, security engineer, whatever it might be, we can provide that person on a 3 to 6 month basis. Something else we've introduced is something called elastic engineering, which is pretty cool. It's actually the ability to scale up and scale down the number of resources you need and the different resource types. So think about it as a pod of technology resources that you can pick and choose those resources. And we also do direct hire, right? So in other words, if you just need a full-time person, you know, we can work out a recruiting arrangement where we'll find that person for you as a direct hire, as a normal recruiting staffing service. So again, this is something that we've worked out with Doug, that we are offering a discount to all Global Chamber members on the staff augmentation services. Any questions on that? That's a little more straightforward. No?
What's the best way to engage into this opportunity?
Great question. And I will go ahead in the chat box here. I will go ahead and drop my contact information within the chat box once I get there. Okay, here we go. Yeah, there's my information, email address, my phone number. If you have questions about it, to learn more about a proof of concept, again, funded by AWS, learn more about agentic AI, what it means, use cases, how it can impact your business. And again, the important piece here is it's not just doing a demo. We are going to use your data, your workloads to show you specifically how it'll work in your environment. And then if that makes sense, you see the ROI, and then we could talk about production. The production funding also comes from AWS as well.
Thank you, Jeff. I see Emeka. Emeka, have a question. Emeka, go ahead. Let's finish with your question, then we'll move forward to Rachel.
Yeah, sure. Thanks. I should have put my hand down. I think, Jeff, you answered that. So it was,
okay.
I was looking at companies like ours who develop value propositions for clients, which end up being software solutions. So we're looking for companies to help us build that proof of concept. And you're saying that you can do that with some funding from Amazon to AWS to
1000%. You got
Perfect.
it. Yep. We actually have a number of different AI partners that we work with, you know, that are actually doing the models, right? So Stability AI is one of our partners, right? Cohere, one of our partners, that they don't cross over. They have specific models that they're building, and we work with them to build those same models and put them into use cases.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks for the email. I'll reach out to you.
100%. Thanks.
I have a question for Jeff. This is Siley from Aprilite. So Jeff, I would like to know, you did mention about the use case on recruiting, which
Mhm.
could be automated using AI. So is that something you have already worked upon, or if anybody is interested, you would be able to do it? And is it funded by AWS?
It's not funded. The proof of concept would be funded, but in this case here, is not a proof of concept. It's simply we have the tool, we know what it does, and it is basically a front end process builder for recruiting. So it handles, again, somebody applies to your role, the AI bot will call that person and do the first level screen, asking all the questions, providing the summarization to go to the hiring manager. And then if the hiring manager wants to move forward, they can actually schedule the interview with access to the hiring manager's calendar, right? So it's a pre-built process that we have. It's ready to go. Happy to do a demo for you, and with our team could do a demo for you if you'd like.
Okay, great. Yeah, if it is for demo, because I know somebody in my network who was looking for a similar kind of solution with AI. So let me get in
100%.
touch with that person and I can make an introduction. Thank you.
Yeah, this is something that AWS is starting to manage as well. Because when I worked for AWS, the hiring was unbelievable. I mean, we hired 30,000 people in 1 year at AWS. And if you think about the amount of activity that goes into hiring those number of people, they need these type of bots to help them with that process when they have, literally hundreds of applicants for every job they have. And there's thousands of jobs that were available for AWS.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Leah. And thank you, Jeff. Thank you for your presentation. I'm going to be sharing that last image that you shared with our members for the opportunity.
And I can also send you over the actual
Yeah, no, that would be great
as well, so you have that.
That would be great. And I saw you got team members in Mexico City, San Francisco, Toronto. So if you want them to engage with our activities, specifically Mexico City has been very active. They're doing an event in November. So if you want to engage them, more than welcome to do that.
Awesome. Yeah, we have actually found that Mexico has a lot of great technology. I mean, there's a lot of great technologists in Mexico, some great universities, and we can find people with doctorate degrees that are working as data scientists for us. We've actually built a pretty big team in Mexico.
Cool. Awesome. Now, and someone who can help building teams globally is definitely Rachel from Grow Global. Rachel,
what welcome. A great segue, César.
Really? You see? That's true. I mean, that's what you do, right?
Beautiful.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Thank you, Rachel, for being here with us today. And we're looking forward to learning more.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for having me. Hi, everyone. As César said, I'm Rachel Kepix. I'm coming in from a company called Go Global. And essentially what we do is support clients in expanding internationally in a number of different ways. So I'll kind of go through kind of what we do, how we help, what we're seeing in the market. So if you or any organizations are looking to expand into a new country or have a global workforce today and are struggling with that, that's really what our team supports with. So hold on one second. I will share my screen. Let's see. Okay. I think you should be able to see that, and I will. Oh,
we can see it now.
Okay, you got it now. I'm trying to get to presenter view. Here we go. All right. So, like I said, I'm Rachel. I just started here about 4 months ago, but I've been in the space for about 5 years. I was at a previous firm, but I have since moved to Go Global to support on the partnership side. So I support our teams in North America as well as our UK and EMEA sales teams as well. And essentially what I do is look to drive strategic partnerships with partners who might be able to help fill a gap for us and vice versa, or to help grow client relationships through our client base as well. So I'll go through a little bit about what we do and like the different use cases, as well as the service offerings that we have. So we help in a variety of ways on the global expansion front, from new market entry. So if we're looking at getting into Mexico, building a team there, or really in any most any country. We work in about 145 different locations. So most places around the world, we can help clients get into that country, understand what it takes to establish their business there, grow a team there successfully, understand the cultural differences, that type of thing. We can also help with vendor consolidation or vendor replacement. So a lot of times when companies are hiring internationally or expanding their business, they may be in multiple different countries and be using various different payroll providers in that country. So it can be really challenging to track that, to understand who your points of contact are. Documents might be in different languages, so it can get really challenging. And that is where we come in and we can help consolidate that and kind of streamline those processes. We also help a lot with mergers and acquisitions. So if a client is acquiring a new company, sometimes they may just acquire the people or the assets, but not the actual entity that you have to have in order to hire and pay workers in that country. And so we can help with in a variety of different ways with those acquisitions to make sure that when those workers are brought over, that they are receiving like or better benefits, that there's kind of a seamless transition over, and there's no gap in employment or gap in their pay or benefits there as well. Also, sometimes, if a company is looking to sell their organization, sometimes one of the things they need to do is get some of the risk off their books. So if they have independent contractors and are concerned with the compliance of them, we can help convert those contractors to employees. And that tends to be a more attractive offer when you're going to market to sell the business. And then we act as a single point of management. So we can do all of this through one provider versus working with various vendors, which historically has been the case in the market. So we're kind of consolidating all of this and making it easier for our clients to expand. So just to give you an overview of some of the services that we offer, like I said, it is kind of a full suite of things, from global recruitment to employer of record. If you've heard of that, essentially what that is, when a client is looking to expand into a new country, you effectively have three options. You can either set them up as an independent contractor, but there is risk associated with that if they're not properly classified as a contractor. They can establish their own entity and take workers on directly, or they can utilize an employer of record. And effectively what that is rather than having to establish your entity, you would utilize one of our entities, again, across 145 different countries, so virtually anywhere. And what we would do is we'd employ those workers on your behalf and put them back on assignment out to you. So you're still managing their day-to-day, their job performance, the projects they're working on. We're not directing any of that. We just act as the back-end employer, ensuring that all of the HR compliance is being met, workers are receiving the applicable benefits for that particular country. We support with the payroll, and then we also support with end-of-year tax filings, as well as just the monthly tax filing or tax remittances back to the local tax authorities. So we kind of take all of that under the employer of record umbrella for clients that don't want to establish their entity. Now, in some cases, we have clients that, as they grow, they with employer of record, but once they get to 10, 15, 20 workers in a country, they may decide, hey, it makes more financial sense for us to establish our entity. So that's where we can come in with our entity management services. We would help with the full incorporation, the registrations, and then we can help ongoing with setting up the payroll, HR support. So virtually everything a client would need to take on workers directly and then be fully operational in a country and be able to perform their work. So really, I think one of the benefits of Go Global is we can support clients at any stage of their global growth journey, from the very beginnings all the way through, a full mature entity, staffed with 20, 50, 100 employees. So it's a really cool, I think, model. And it kind of helps, like I said, consolidate the support there. I did want to talk about some of the trends we're seeing in the industry too with global expansion. One of the big ones being, I'm sure many of you have heard about the change in the H-1B policy here in the States. Now the $100,000 H-1B visa fee. For some of the larger companies, that's not necessarily an issue, but for some smaller companies, that may lead to workers having to go back to their home countries. And so employer of record is a great option for that because it allows the client to continue to retain that talent, just not here in the States. We can help support them when they go back to their home country, and our clients can still utilize that worker as they normally would, but it helps them avoid that H-1B fee, visa fee. So that's just one thing we're seeing today. In terms of some of the other trends we're seeing in the market, we're seeing a lot of clients, particularly in the US market, but also in EMEA, clients moving into the Middle East, particularly the UAE and Saudi Arabia. Those are becoming some really big markets for us, as businesses look to expand. I believe a lot of that is because of some of the tax benefits that you get in those countries, but just something to consider. We also help clients, if they are looking to expand and they don't know specifically what country makes the most sense for them, but they have a region in mind. We can support in helping them identify what makes the most sense for their business, and then also identify the cost associated to hire workers there, what the taxes look like, what the benefits look like that they'd be required to provide. We're seeing a lot more vendor consolidation. Again, historically, I think a lot of these clients, as they expand, it's been very piecemeal. We can help consolidate that, and rather than having maybe local HR, local payroll in each country, we can bring that all in-house with Go Global, so they have one point of contact. And we do have local experts all over the world that support with this as well. So it's not like everything is being facilitated out of the US or out of one country. In each country we support in, we have boots on the ground HR and payroll professionals that work with us. And then lastly, just kind of talking through kind of what sets Go Global apart from some of the others in the industry. You may have heard of employer of record already. There are many out there like Deal and Rippling. I think one of the things we've really seen as a trend in the space is that many of these providers are moving more towards the tech first, or we've talked a lot about AI today, which is great. I think tech has its purpose, but for a situation like this where clients are getting into a new country, they may not know the rules and regulations. There's a lot of gray area, and in many cases, it's not something you can just Google. It really, really helps to have the boots on the ground support and an actual HR expert in that particular country that you can call up and have a conversation with, talk through the benefits, talk through the taxes. And so that's really where Go Global sets itself apart. We are much more hands-on and consultative than many of the others in the space. Many of them are, like I said, moving away from that kind of human or people-first approach and more towards the tech or do-it-yourself side of things, which can cause its own challenges there. The other thing that sets us apart as well is just the suite of services that we offer. Most of the other employers of record in the space may only offer employer of record or may offer some additional payroll services. But Go Global is the only provider in the space that offers this full suite, including global recruitment, independent contractor solutions, employer of record, setting up entities. So supporting at every stage, like I said, of that expansion life cycle. And I think that's what our clients really value, to be honest, is just being able to have one point of contact to do all of this. Okay, and then lastly, I just kind of wanted to share what our ideal client profile is, the types of clients we typically work with. Usually it's in the lower mid-market range to the small enterprise side, so anywhere from about 200 global employees to about 5,000 global employees. As you get a little lower than that, usually cost becomes an issue. As you get higher than 5,000, oftentimes those organizations already have a solution or an in-house team that helps them set up their entities and helps with global mobility. We work with a variety of different industries. I would say our top industry is really tech. We hire a ton of software engineers, developers, UX, UI, a little bit of everything in the tech space. Most often because those are white collar roles, typically work from home, so the risk is a little bit lower. But we also work with IT and professional services companies. Manufacturing is a huge one that really has blown up in the last, I would say, 3 years. A lot of manufacturing companies looking to utilize an employer of record or just looking to expand their business to another country. Nonprofits and universities as well are a big industry that we work with. I will say, again, a trend in the industry, though, is particularly with nonprofits. We saw when USAID lost some of the funding that did impact the nonprofit business and the nonprofits that were able to work with us. So we are seeing a kind of a shakeup there, but historically, nonprofits have also been a big industry for us as well.
Rachel, sorry to interrupt. I was just, since this 10 minutes mark, I would just like to open up if anyone has a question.
Yeah, no problem. This is where this was my last slide anyway.
Okay, cool. No, that's great. Any questions for Rachel?
How does one connect with you, Rachel?
Yeah, so you can, if you want to get my email address, I can put that in the chat. You guys can always add me on LinkedIn. And if you have any projects that you want to talk through, I'm always happy to kind of discuss what's going on and how we might be able to help. But I'll put it in the chat for you.
Hey, Rachel, this is Steve Nicokiris. How are you? I'm in New York City. We're a CPA and consulting firm. Do you have partnerships with, do you guys prepare tax compliance work? Do you do that internally? Or do you outsource that work, or do you not? I'm just curious what you do if a company needs tax return preparation or consulting if they're moving into the United States or anywhere in the world.
Yeah, great question. So we do provide those tax preparation services for employer of record on the employee side. For our accounting and tax compliance service, I believe we do utilize some partners there. So if that's something you guys are interested in, we can get you connected with our operations team to support with that as well, because we're always looking for new partners. In some cases, we bring those things in-house, but it certainly depends on the specific country and the capabilities there. But in other cases, we will utilize partners. So, and I will say CPA and accounting firms are also kind of firms we're targeting for strategic partnerships. So for lead sharing and that type of thing as well. So it would definitely be open to having a conversation about that.
Great, thank you.
Yep.
Thank you, Stephen. I see Ruby and I see Joanne. If we can take those two questions, but address it very fast, that would be great.
Sure.
Ruby, go ahead first.
Thank you, César. Hello, Rachel. Great presentation. I just wanted to double check. Are you already working in Africa, particularly Ghana? Do you have anybody in Ghana? I'll be interested to have a conversation how we can work together. Thank you.
So we absolutely work in Africa. I can double check about Ghana specifically. It looks like, yes, we do work in Ghana and we have a direct entity there. So it's our own Go Global entity.
Thank you. Joan Santiago. Joan is a new connection for me. Joan, welcome. Can you ask a question?
Hi, thank you so much for the invitation. So my question was, we're planning to expand our products to different countries. We're expanding now to USA, but also we're looking out to expand our products to the UK, Mexico, and other countries. And I wanted to know if Go Global helps us with the distribution or looking for potential retail clients.
So typically we wouldn't help with the distribution itself or looking for retail clients. What we can help you with though is the actual expansion there. So setting up your entity, or if you need support finding talent and getting them hired in those locations to support with the distribution. I have worked with some clients where they've used a combination of services, where they may use employer of record in some locations, but for distribution, in many cases, they needed to have their own entity. And so we can help with that. We just wouldn't help with the actual sourcing of new retail locations and that type of thing. It's more so the back end HR, payroll compliance, and getting set up in country.
Okay, thank you so much.
Yep.
Thank you, Joan, and I can follow up with you on that. And thank you, Rachel. Very
Absolutely. I put my
I
contact
made
information in the chat for anyone who needs it.
Notes for you. So for the last 5-6 minutes, I would like to call on 2 members, and then we end up with Chauvin, who has a special ask. First, I would like to really welcome one of our new members directly from Atlanta, Georgia, Donna Smiley. Donna, welcome. I don't know if you can say a few words. If you can introduce yourself in a minute.
Yes. Hi. Good morning, everyone. My name is Donna Smiley. César, thank you for inviting me to this great group, and I learned a lot in that 1-hour session. Sorry, guys. My name is, again, Donna Smiley. I'm a commercial real estate broker, founder and CEO of Titan Real Estate Group. We are a full-service commercial real estate firm here in the Atlanta market. I'm also a broker in Florida. I have a lot of relationships in India. I just helped 4 companies from India get their first US office, helped them with market entry. So I'm super excited to be a part of Global Chamber. Doug has been a great resource for me as well. And I just look forward to meeting all of you and see if we have any synergy of working together in the future. Thank you.
Thank you, Donna. You've been part of our real estate series, and that's why I thought, inviting you to something different. So thank you for making it
Thank
today.
you.
And then I would like to give the floor, see, Rhonda, are you still there? I don't see you here. You're still here. Hi, Rhonda, you're muted. So Rhonda has been helping some of the members presenting, and so it's great the work she does. And so Rhonda, if you can introduce yourself for a minute, that would be great.
Well, thank you very much. Wasn't expecting this. Came to see the nice ladies that I've spoken to during the week to help them get themselves ready for this. I'm a global strategic communication guide. I help people communicate with other people in other geographies or in other organizational cultures, like why can't finance people talk to engineers? And anything to do with making sure you get your message across and can be heard. And it's been a pleasure to see that so many of the people who joined me this week in these 15-minute calls that I give you an option just to go through this and see how this works. Hope to provide some clarity and some confidence and make the communication work well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Rhonda. This is a good opportunity for members. So if you want to have a second review of your pitch, of your sales, that Rhonda is the person. Thanks. Then before we go to you, I just want to mention I'm very happy today because I was able to make the first introduction using our new system through AI. And so we've been working on this in the last couple of months. And Stephen, that was your introduction that I sent you earlier today. And so that email, I didn't type a thing. So it was all the system based on the information it got. So that's encouraging. That's something that we've been looking forward to it. And because of that, Stephen, if you can say a few words, introduce yourself, and maybe I know you're hosting 2 events later in the month. So if you can say a little bit about that, that would be great. And you're muted, Stephen.
Sorry, thank you. Thank you so much. And again, it's a pleasure to meet everybody. It's a great group. I've been involved for about 6 or 7 months now and really jumping in headfirst in the Global Chamber in the New York City chapter, supporting Susan Azadi and Charles Bernard very, very much. Let's just promote a couple of events. I'm going to be hosting an event in my office, I believe on the 28th of October from 4 to 6 p.m. of a delegation from, I'm sorry, where are they from again, César? I'm a brain fort.
They're from
it's the UAE. It's Ayman.
Yes, I'm sorry, the UAE. Yes, we did an Indian delegation. It's the UAE and Saudi Arabia. Really just talking about people wanting to do business in that part of the world. It's going to be a webinar, and we certainly. It's not going to be a webinar. It's going to be an in-person event, and we're hoping to have a nice turnout. If anyone is in New York or plans to be in New York or knows anyone in New York City, it'll be in Midtown in our office right at Bryant Park. We have our own New York City chapter meetings. Also, that week on the 30th, we have a meeting from 5 to 7, which I'm also hosting in my office in Bryant Park. And again, thanks César and Doug for all of your support. I apologize for being a little late getting on the meeting this morning, but love all these meetings and love meeting people. And people in the Global Chamber are very, very much givers. And so I'm also like to think like that and try to give. And hopefully good things come back in time. So thank you very much to everyone in the group. And again, if you're interested, love to see you on the 28th in New York City.
Thank you, Stephen. And I put the links there in the chat for those interested. And speaking of givers, that's why I left Siobhan towards the end. She has a special cause and she has an ask. She had a top year so far. And I just invite everyone to stay for just 3-4 minutes so we can learn about Siobhan. Siobhan, thank you for joining. And sorry, it's pretty much the end, but I would like to give you the 2 or 3 minutes for that.
I can do that. Hi, César, and thank you for allowing me to share what I'm doing now. And it's about leadership. So you might want to stick around because it might be something that hits you square in the jaw like it did for me. This spring, I thought I had allergies. I was a really healthy woman. I'm the co-founder of growingtogive.org. We run the Phoenix Food Forest Initiative, and it's the largest food forest in the nation. And we have innovative agricultural technologies that help community gardens and farms grow more food with less resources, especially water. And so that was my focus until this spring. I started not being able to breathe very well. And I thought it was allergies. We're in Scottsdale. We have really bad Palo Verde season. All this pollen comes down, and my husband had the same symptoms. He was sneezing and coughing, and I was as well, but I was getting worse and worse, and I couldn't walk from the bedroom to the kitchen. I eventually was rushed to emergency, and the words that nobody wants to hear is that you have 6 years left to live. I was diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer. There's no cure for it. But what I did was I took that fear, that frightening moment, and I turned it into something good. I turned it into fabulous, actually, which has surprised everybody. I woke up one morning and I thought, you got to stop feeling sorry for yourself. You have to go on with your life, no matter how long that term is. You have to go on with your life. And a lot of us in business, we push the limits, And this time I realized that in order for me to survive, I needed to focus on exactly what I could do to shift the landscape. And so I started a podcast called Cancer Bites, and it's a community and podcast. It only just started. I already have guests for the entire rest of the year. These are incredible doctors, psycho-oncologists, breast cancer survivors from 9/11, yes, men, first responders, and all kinds of women who have gone through this, who have run their own businesses and still run their own businesses, and they are just living with this disease. And I've come out of this. I'm still going through treatments, but I have found the energy to keep going. And what we're looking for are sponsors for the podcast and for our gift bag campaign. We're starting it here in Scottsdale, where we're giving out gift bags full of sponsored items like earrings and skincare and books and Brazzles and all kinds of books and things like that, and skincare. We've got all kinds of people. That's upside down, Gleam. She's a breast cancer survivor. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pack these gift bags and we're going to get them out to the Virginia Piper Cancer Clinic and to the hospital that I was in, Honor Health, and hopefully reach a whole lot of people that are going through breast cancer right now. And we would love for you to sponsor items with cash. Cash is always good because we need to buy some things. We may have to mail some of these gift bags to people around the country, but we're going from, my idea was, let's get 60 gift bags, but I actually think by the end of next year, we'll be handing out 600,000 gift bags around the nation and then globally around the world. And we already have gone global because my co-host on Cancer Bites is from the Barbados, and her name is Stacey Alvarez. And I'm not sure if anybody here at Global Chamber knows her, but she was part of Island Innovation for a very long time. So I just wanted to tell you that you can survive any diagnosis that comes your way, and you can transform other people's lives by being a leader in that space.
Excellent. Siobhan, thank you very much. And thanks for everyone who stayed a little bit longer to hear from Siobhan. And we're going to be sharing this with the Global Chamber members. Thanks everyone for joining us today. I'm gonna wrap up. I see your hand, Joanne, but we really need to close it. I'm happy to follow up with you. And Siobhan, feel free to send me by email everything you got so we can send it in our package to the members. Okay. Thanks everyone. Have a good weekend. For your time. Thanks.
Good luck, Siobhan.